Hello, everybody. Really?
Evening. We start out with the cat right next to us. You can't see the cat in the shot, but the cat's here. In any case,
I was trying to drink your water now. Really? Of all things that is trying to...
I closed off the pizza. I don't know why the cat wants the water.
Yeah,
That's not the interesting part. In any case, so we have a really cool show tonight. Something that we talked about doing a couple weeks ago, and I ended up screwing it up because I couldn't make it to that show. We're going to talk all about Infiltration playing against Daigo, not just in one set, but throughout their playing history over the last couple of years.
Yeah, because it was just such a stark change all of a sudden, because obviously when they played each other, Infiltration has always had the upper hand over Daigo. And then all of a sudden, in this first to 10, Daigo goes and defeats Infiltration 10-2.
Right. If you didn't watch that, it was at the Mad Catz Unveiled event at Tokyo Game Show. A couple weeks back, it was really hyped up, especially after Daigo had defeated Shen 10-0 in the set that they played a couple weeks before that.
So, I mean, the thing about it was a lot of people are probably wondering to themselves, you know, what changed, what happened between the matches, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. You know, I kind of want to go through that a little bit because, in my opinion, there was one really significant key change that happened, and I really want to illustrate that much because if you watch the original videos and then you watch the first to 10, like the difference is like so stark if you pay attention to one specific thing. So, all right.
Are you going to send us into Xbox mode, or
sure?
what are you
Let's
going to do
that. Let's do that here.
So, what exactly do you want to talk about in Akuma versus Ryu training mode?
Okay, so basically, if you watch the original EVO videos, and
which we will, by the way.
Yeah, which we will, and the 25th anniversary tournament, you can tell that Infiltration definitely did a lot of studying on Daigo. You can tell that basically what he did was he learned where Daigo likes to throw fireballs. Right? He just memorized, he just figured it out. At a specific distance, Daigo likes to throw fireballs, right? So let's just call this distance N because it's like super important.
Let's call it N.
You basically, when you watch these matches, N is like the key of watching all these matches in my opinion, right? So what you'll see here is when Infiltration gets right about at this distance right here. So you can see we're about like 2 bodies apart.
Couple squares.
Yeah, a couple squares here. What Infiltration starts to do is he doesn't care if Daigo throws a fireball or he sees him throws it. He preemptively just walks up here and starts to do focus dash forward. Did I just backdash? Like this, right? So he'll just walk into this distance focus and then he'll be able to throw Ryu or sweep him or punish him or something like that.
Right, crouching jab into Hurricane.
Yeah, the other thing that he would do is walk up, and when he got to this distance, he would just preemptively walk up and sweep. And a lot of times it would interrupt fireballs like that. And then the last one, the most damaging one, he would just walk into this distance and jump.
Right.
Like, he didn't even wait for Daigo to throw a fireball. See, that's why Daigo wants to throw the fireball right there. Because at this magic distance, if you try to react to the fireball animation, you can't get up. You cannot get off the floor and jump over the fireball in time. The only way you can do it is if you predict it or just all-out guess.
Right.
Right? So this is a magic fireball distance. This is actually one of the most important fireball distances that you'll see from Vi and Choi and Daigo and all these guys. They love throwing fireballs at this distance because you can't jump over it when you see it happening. You know, it's very hard. So Daigo will throw fireballs at this distance.
The thing about this distance, though, is that if the opponent guesses jump, you are totally blown up.
Yeah.
So you see this distance out of really, really strong Ryu players who know exactly what they think their opponent's going to do. They think that they've conditioned their opponent. You'll see in a lot of cases that we'll point out, Daigo seems like he thinks that he has conditioned Infiltration to not act at a certain range.
Right.
But Infiltration recognized that, as you said.
Yeah, but the best thing about it is Infiltration realizes if he plays logically, then he'll play right into his hand. So what you want to watch in the EVO videos is that at this distance, he will just go for jumps. And he'll just walk up and go for sweeps. And he'll just walk up and focus and dash. You know what I mean? He's just going in there right away. And so what happens is when we get to the first to 10 at the TGS, you'll notice that Daigo throws fireballs at distance N a lot less. He throws them a little bit from over here, so if a focus dash can't catch him in time, he'll be able to block in time. And not only that, but sometimes when he jumps, it's harder to get the full combo going in there. But, you know, it's still dangerous distance, obviously, because of Akuma's standing roundhouse. But he just realized that Infiltration wasn't playing at this distance. You know, he wasn't thinking about it at this distance. And obviously, Infiltration's not going to be able to walk up and sweep his fireball in time. Or he gets this close and kind of gets ready for and tries to get point-blank fireballs or point-blank low-forward fireballs. Because the other thing that Infiltration did a lot was he would try to stand at the distance of max low forward like this. And then that way... You know, if he knows it's not a true block string at that distance, so he would end up focusing through it like this and punishing a lot. So that's kind of the distance thing that I wanted to really establish. That's the main distance thing I wanted to establish, is that distance N. Because when you look at that distance N and then all of a sudden look at how the match changes afterwards, it's when you get to the first to 10. I mean, don't get me wrong, Daigo will throw some stuff during that, at that distance, but you can see how he conditions him and gets Infiltration really worried about it and thinking about that distance. And that's all he needed to do was give him that hesitation, and I think that makes the big difference.
So these are two of the best players in recent times in Street Fighter 4. It's cool because Infiltration, in the first video that we're going to see of him, it's EVO 2012, and they meet in winners semifinals. And that was during the time when Infiltration seemed unbeatable, if you recall. Throughout that EVO, he marched through in one of the most dominant EVO performances that we've ever seen in any game. It was just a complete blow-up the whole time. But Daigo has in the past been that guy who waltzed through and blew everybody up. And so it was really cool to see Infiltration kind of take that mantle. I feel like there's that that underlying thing throughout all these matches of Infiltration like being the new guy, and at the end, you know, spoiler alert, Daigo comes back and says, actually, in a first to 10 set, you're not beating me.
Right.
So.
I mean, because obviously in the States here, we have our own rivalries, but there's always a rivalry with the guys in Asia, and Daigo has always been the guy with the target on his back, and at some point in time, Infiltration stole that.
It was in
Daigo.
2012. That's when he stole it. Yeah. I mean, we knew he was a good player before that, but he was the guy in 2012.
And so, yeah, I think a lot of people want to... you know, are glad to see Daigo back in form, but, you know, Daigo himself, obviously, he's treating these first to 10s very seriously.
Yeah. So, we'll see what he did.
Okay.
So, let's start things out with EVO 2012 winners semifinals. We are gonna, I think, mostly let these play. We'll stop them here and there. We have them on the Xbox, so it shouldn't cause too many issues for us.
Right. But obviously, they're taking quite a while to pick their team.
Yeah, somebody was commentating right now, forcing them to wait before they actually played, if I recall. Oh, you're fast forwarding this?
Yeah, there we go. Okay,
cool.
Just very slowly. So here we go. If I remember in this one, right away, Infiltration tests Daigo with the focus dash forward. Like, right away. That's like the first thing he does, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, this is their first major meeting.
Yeah.
So, immediately he starts off with the fireball. I mean, this is the opening that we're going to see a ton of times. Right. Daigo wants to establish the zone right away. Akuma went for his own fireball, which was a relatively safe move. You're not looking for Daigo to jump toward at you. But then he knows it's a practice of Daigo's to see a fireball and do another one.
Right, but see, here's the thing. Walks into distance N, immediately gets that, right? And you're going to see right here, right immediately afterwards, he tries it again right there, and he messed up. He focused a little too early and dashed into it. But you see, right when he gets that distance, he doesn't care if Daigo's throwing it or not. He's already going to try it.
Right? And the risk reward for him is great. If he gets hit by a fireball, you can see how much damage it takes off.
Yeah.
If he gets through, you can see what he can end up doing.
Yeah.
Either big damage or he can start things off for himself.
And then he gets the vortex on a sweep. And you saw, that's 3 times already he tried the focus dash through fireball. One time he accidentally dashed a little too early. No big deal.
Right.
He's just getting out of the corner there. And then he just escapes.
The option select.
Didn't work.
Teleport to the other side.
Distance N again, catches him with the sweep on that fireball, right?
Oh, love that setup.
Yeah.
EX could have gotten through, but didn't want to spend meter.
That's
free punish.
Free punish right there. So 4 times already he got into distance N and just said, you know what, I'm doing my thing. I'm stopping your fireball.
Oh, you see the jab, the stand jab right there to try to fake it? Hoping that Akuma would take the bait, but he didn't, so Infiltration backs off.
See right there, he tried it again. Just tried to walk up and sweep him out of his fireball. Because when he throws the fireball, he's going to stick his leg out, and there he focus dash through again. So
I mean, once you see the crouching medium kick, he goes for the focus.
Yeah. And see, let's just jump at that distance again.
I think, actually, back it up. That might have been reactions. Let's see.
That'd be crazy if that was a reaction.
Okay, let's see how much time he has.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, but
Yeah.
it was just at the exact moment.
Yeah.
Where if he sticks
Very
out a
close.
roundhouse, I almost wonder if that would have been a range where the Shoryuken would have whiffed with no roundhouse in the air.
I mean, he literally walked into that range
Mm-hmm.
and then jumped. So he's getting Daigo to throw the fire. That time he does a fireball FADC. That was so sick. But see, again, just he's relentless right now. See, Daigo usually wins these matches banking on the fact that people psych themselves out and don't jump.
Right.
And Infiltration is definitely he's going crazy. He says, you know what? See that low forward fireball again.
Yeah, we say it all the time, but you have to have both angles. You have to have both the ground and the air. Or else your opponent can have an easier time of it.
Yeah, and Daigo establishes so much dominance through his fireball game.
Okay, back up, because there was something that was just outside of end range right there.
Yeah, Daigo, again, establishes so much through the fireball game that if you take that away, he's going to get destroyed like this, right? So
once you get over... Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So, all right, from just outside, you see he focused dash toward, and he saw, oh, I wasn't at the right range. I'm not going to get a free punish on this. Backdash, reset the situation.
And that's just sick right there. Just being able to Raging Demon that sweep like that when you whiff. Because Daigo baited him. He did that stand short thing. So stand short pulls your hitbox back, right? So this is an old hyper fighting trick.
Oh, yeah.
This is like one of my favorite hyper fighting tricks. When you stand short, you pull your hitbox back like that, so the sweep misses. But then Infiltration's like, no, you can't punish me. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, ridiculous. And so here he goes for his setup. Nice uppercut from Daigo.
Hey, you can see Daigo trying to figure out what to do. He knows that fireball has really been neutralized.
Yeah.
See, there are no fireballs right there. I love that walk toward because it's Infiltration recognizing that his opponent doesn't want to throw fireballs anymore, doesn't want to use his major tool. He came in for the grab.
Oh, and then... Oh, I remember this one, yeah. Yeah. So right there, he went in for that throw. He got that throw only because he has already taken away that fireball game. And Daigo... you don't see this a lot from Daigo, but he's actually reached a point right now where he's kind of confused. Like, you can kind of see it in his gameplay. He's not sure what to do. He's not sure how to deal the damage that he needs to.
That's one thing to do, is use the EX Fireball to get through, but he doesn't have meter too often, as you can see. He's not building meter because he's not being active.
Right, and now you can kind of see something in Infiltration's game. He was throwing a few more fireballs himself because he's like, now I've got Daigo into this mode where Daigo's trying to approach me. So now I can play this little game, get him to walk into standing roundhouses and such like that.
Right.
Here we go, Vortex time. Ugh, I hate the Vortex. Oh, good stuff. Okay. Daigo just says, F it, let's just uppercut FADC.
Why not? Street Fighter 4.
Then he walks up and somehow Infiltration throws him first and there's no tech. Still not sure how that happened.
Oh, you can't react to that one. That is instant.
That's dirty. Once that starts, that's it.
And that is it, by the way.
Yeah,
that was that set.
Yeah.
That sent Daigo to losers, and Infiltration, of course, ended up going on to win Evo that year.
Dude, that's so easy to do, too, that overhead into Raging Demon in this version.
Yeah,
because you can
Kara is easy.
You hold forward and you hit, like, strong and jab at the same time, double tap it twice, then you only have to move to down forward. You don't even have to let go and tap forward on the controller. So you can hold forward, double tap those buttons, shift it to down forward, and hit short fierce, and then it comes out. It's ridiculous.
All right.
Raging Demon codes are so scrubby, dude.
So that was. Let's take a break before this one comes up.
Okay.
There's gonna be a little bit of a setup that I want to talk about first.
Okay, no problem then.
We'll be back with more talking about Daigo and Infiltration in just a bit.
Alrighty.
So we're talking about Daigo and Infiltration. The most immediate reason is their first 10 set at Mad Catz Unveiled recently, which was an amazing set. But we wanted to discuss that in light of all the times that they've played each other before in the last couple years. So we just looked at Evo 2012, where they met in top 8. And then it was a little bit of a break.
Right.
And in fact, there were interviews with Daigo that came out around this time where he was talking about how he recognized that his fireball timings were a little bit too predictable. And at the time, I don't think that I connected it with this match, with the match that we just saw where his fireball timings get lit up.
Right.
But I gotta think that was a factor in his decision to do that. So he worked on it a little bit. And he came back to the Street Fighter 25th anniversary top 8 finals or whatever it was. It was more than top 8.
Yeah.
And he had a little bit of different stuff. And so we'll point out a little bit, when he comes up with those different timings. They played twice in this tournament. They played in winners finals, and then they played again in grand finals. I think we're loading up the winners finals right now.
Yeah, we're just going to load up the winner finals. So you want to just cut to it right now?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's cut over.
Look at Daigo. Look at him. He's just like, he's just like concentrating.
Yep, he is definitely concentrating. Infiltration, making sure all the hands work. That's an important factor.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, major thing was that Daigo had worked on his fireball timings. I have to think that it was to deal specifically with Infiltration, because nobody else had really read his timings like that. They found that space N that you keep talking about, or he found that space N that you keep talking about, and abused it. And Daigo has to change something up, or else he's going to get ripped.
Right. And, for those people who have seen this, I mean, he does win the winners finals.
Daigo does.
Yeah, Daigo does. And yet, every time he won, he had to make, like, some crazy, comeback. So, Infiltration still had his number, but Daigo just had that clutch.
I mean, this was one of the best sets that I've seen in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
It was an amazing, amazing set. Oh, here we go. So keep in mind what their opening was the last time. Daigo, again, fakes the fireball. Infiltration waited just a second and jumped at a pretty safe range.
Right. And it looks like...
Daigo, again, you see the lack of fireball? He just wanted to see what Akuma would do. Will you do a focus here? He saw no, and I think he's a little more comfortable in fireballs after that.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to me that Infiltration came in here right away just respecting it. You know what I mean? Not trying to use the same kind of tactics that he was using before.
Well, check out that range. Daigo's trying to be outside of that range where he throws fireballs.
N+1.
And blowing up the focus. That's one of the main tools. Toward Fierce will blow up people focusing. So he's already had some things to deal with how Infiltration approached him last time.
The biggest problem right here, and this is where you're going to see the main difference between the other two, is he's playing this right, but he's still not getting any damage. He's not hurting Infiltration. He's just preventing Infiltration from hurting him, really, I mean, he did have a life lead until that one combo, but, oh, God, ow.
Yeah, Daigo's not afraid to take risks. I mean, we saw the Dragon Punch before that got lit up, that got blocked and punished. That's something he's done in every game. He's always been the kind of guy who is willing to take risks, especially at the start of a set or at the very end of a set when he thinks he has the read.
See, there you go right there. Infiltration just starting the round with a jump forward. Says, you know what? Start of the round is basically distance N, so I'm just going to go right in and assume... Oh, that's so...
By the way, notice that teleport that Infiltration did, it was a toward teleport. And in the last set we saw also a toward teleport. That is going to come up later.
Yeah. Here we go. Infiltration just... This is just Vortex right here, right?
I mean, luckily for Ryu, he doesn't get Vortex as bad as most characters. Akuma can't do the Tatsu and just sweep on him. And,
right.
3-frame DP.
But see, here we go. I just want to point this out again, while they're playing this game. Watch Infiltration just walk into the distance of N and then jump. See, he didn't react to a fireball.
No, sure.
He walked into that range to get Daigo to throw the fireball and just jumped.
I wonder if that was Daigo falling back into old patterns there. He's caught in the corner. His back's literally to the wall.
Well, I mean, even the best players do this, right? When you get to that point where you're a little bit pressed, you do what's comfortable. You fall into that. Every player does that, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's honestly the reason why I think Ricky and Justin won't stop playing Rufus, because it's comfortable, and they've tried learning new characters, but it feels so good to keep using Rufus,
Right now, all those are reads. Finally, a backwards teleport for Infiltration as an escape. He really mixes those up well. Towards Strong was the attempt.
Oh, wake up, Lv3. Daigo does that. He does that a couple.
Well, look, it's not that crazy. All these times that we've seen Infiltration do this little dance back and forth, even as Daigo's waking up, dance back, come back in for the grab, looking for somebody, looking to get past a crouch tech, right? And that's a counter to that.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they do that thing where they stay next to you when you get up and wait to see if you uppercut and then attack. So if you wake up with a crouch forward, you will catch a lot of people off guard. Oh, so sick. Chase down the back teleport with the fireball.
Yeah, it's not a lot of damage, but it tells Infiltration that Daigo is looking for that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, see, wake up low strong that time. Daigo not afraid to do wake up normals, because he knows Infiltration's not ready. Okay, so he gets a good hard knockdown, gets a good throw here. Goes for the throw again. So you see, every time Daigo does get his momentum going, is he gets a chance to knock Infiltration down, and what he's doing is just trying to get damage off of those situations with the throws and stuff.
Let's go back the last 10 seconds or so, because they are dancing around this spot that you're talking about. Yeah. Spot N.
I saw that reaction on your face. You're like, yo,
look at this. Okay, when they approach each other a little bit, Daigo does not want to throw a fireball. Infiltration doesn't want to do anything except for the reactions that he's looking for, right? The focus through, the jump toward. But Daigo took all that stuff away with toward fierce and with no fireballs. Even though it didn't really turn into much damage for Daigo, setting that stuff up is so important.
Yeah, he's just not throwing that many fireballs anymore. You know, he's worried about it.
Well, it is clearly a different fireball timing. So, you know, you can see he's not throwing them at the same spots. He's using things to counters the fireball.
And you see how he always throws one fireball and stops? Mm-hmm. That's very different. Daigo is really known for chucking like 3 or 4 in a row, but he's specifically only throwing one at a time here. And I feel like when you get to grand finals, he kind of just forgets that all of a sudden. Like he does revert back to how he normally plays in that.
Oh, I remember that. That's one of 2 or 3 times ever that I've seen people use that buff for Akuma that he got in AE 2012. Which was EX Demon Flip to EX Fireball. It completely stops his air momentum. Right. So it's useful in that respect for exactly that.
Yeah.
You just don't see it very often.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
So he was just going to try to preemptively intercept it. But see, he's kind of gotten Daigo back into that fireball throwing game here, you see. Daigo.
You know, I don't know whose benefit that is too, actually. I feel like if I'm Daigo, I still want to throw fireballs at that range.
Yeah.
I just want to do enough other things to make it so that it's not free.
Absolutely.
Have toward fierces in there, have, not fireballs.
But see, then he got that one advantage in there where he got in and was able to do the damage by jumping over once again. But again, see, low forward fireball, no second fireball. Again, no second fireball. One fireball, no second fireball. Mm-hmm. One fireball, no second fireball. Mm-hmm. That is definitely a consistent pattern to notice here.
Oh, focus is just not coming out from Infiltration. Daigo has done enough things. His toward fierces all over the place.
Okay, what's the...
Oh, sick.
It's just
he bet that round,
too. Got right through that fireball. And
I love this corner control kind of situation.
Yeah.
That second fireball right there, look, if you are Akuma right there, you're looking for one thing. You're looking for meaty fireball, then another fireball that is done so that you're stuck in box stun. Mm-hmm. It's just a chip fireball.
Yeah.
That was slightly later. Yeah. And that's a different timing than people usually look for.
Right. And there you saw Daigo.
Slight change, but important.
Daigo threw the EX fireball at distance N, and he did the focus dash, and he just ate the whole thing. So it's really interesting because it feels like to me in the 25th anniversary tournament, Daigo really did get a good read at the start. Mm-hmm. Which is why I remember when the grand finals happened and Infiltration started winning, I honestly at the time, I said during commentary, I don't know what changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember too. I just didn't pay attention enough, I guess, when it was live.
It's just hard to see. Oh, there it is, that focus dash through fireball. It's so effective.
And sick. Oh, you get blown up for that.
A combo, and then amazingly...
Gets out of the corner. Wow, we went for the Watson.
Wow. Oh, jeez. Wake up uppercut. And then
Daigo goes for the approach. He has a bunch of options after that. He wanted the approach version.
Yeah. Oh, let me just chip you. Ah.
Replay the end of that one right there.
Sure.
Keep in mind the end of the very last round when Daigo threw those fireballs such that the second was not actually part of a 2-block stun. Mm-hmm. A little bit like he's looking for Akuma to stay still because he's thinking Infiltration probably is looking for the same fireball timing I used last time. Infiltration guessed right. He jumped out in time.
Yeah. All right, so Daigo goes up 2-0 here, and now Infiltration gets a swig of water. I like how he's either drinking water or putting water bottles to his head or... Try the focus dash. He got it that time, but like you said, too far, so we just dashed back. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was nice.
It's important for... Oh, sick. I like it, even though it's crazy. In those neutral situations, you don't want to let your opponent take control. You want control, even if you have to bet some life.
Yeah. Wow, Daigo going for his own focus attack. Interesting. It's dangerous against Akuma, because if he does the standing roundhouse, that blows up focus attacks pretty badly. unless you can get up to a level 2. If you have a
Yeah,
level
it
2,
depends on the character.
Yeah, you can get in between, but it's hard.
Ooh, late little crouching fierce frame trap right there from Daigo. First mid round corner time that he's had for himself, but it just didn't amount to much.
Well, see, that's the thing. So when we watched the Evo 2012 footage right here, Daigo never got any of this going here. This little corner frame trap little pokey game here. You see this little game that he has right there? And if that was just a little too far out, but Daigo never got a chance to do that, and that's where Daigo is getting his damage against Infiltration, is when he can get that going. Infiltration just shut down Daigo so badly in that other game. So let's see here how this finishes here, because I remember the way that this one ended on the last round. It was so ridiculous.
Sure.
Again,
Nice timing. He walked a little bit towards on this 10 roundhouse. Thought he had time for it.
Yeah, that was just a miss. That was just a execution error.
Ooh! He walked toward on the stagger.
See, again, this so good. See, when Daigo gets there. So, see, this is the thing, right? Infiltration just wants to shut down Daigo's fireball game. And once he shuts that down...
Wait, why did the camera change?
What do you mean?
I mean, the camera changed.
Did it?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's on us.
Oh, shoot.
That was weird, dude.
Sorry.
How long was that going on?
I don't know. Probably not for too long, so...
I guess not for too long. Yeah, okay. Well, that was weird.
Okay, anyways. You can see us be hype here. But anyways, yeah, so he gets this, throws him, and then he sets up this really... that sick walk-up. Oh, God, it's so good. And then overhead, Oh, so good, so good. Was that the whole show about... They said it's been the whole show that we've been doing that.
It's not accurate.
Are they trolling? Have you seen it the other way, or...
I mean, I don't know, but it's definitely not accurate.
Oh, man. I hope not, dude. Sorry.
All right, whatever. Let's restart this round because we're not paying attention.
Okay. Go back here.
Too much good juice on all of these.
Yeah, I know.
And the opening gambit is so important too.
Yeah.
Immediate fireball.
Yeah. That's dangerous too, because Infiltration has shown that he's made it over that and punished before.
That's the problem right there. That anti-air that he tried, that would have worked if Akuma had gone in with an actual air attack. It's so strong that Akuma gets to do that against Ryu.
Oh, and he gets a crumple there. But now, of course, Daigo has way more meter, and that's super important to note. And right now, Infiltration is kind of playing a keep-away-ish game, if you look at it.
Daigo really trying to chase him down, too. You see dash fireball.
Oh, stand fierce. That's so good.
Okay, here we go. On that.
So Daigo down to very little life. Infiltration says, you know what, I'm just going to play this game. All I need to do is just get that one hit. Meanwhile, Daigo's looking at his meter right now going, I just need to build a little bit more meter here.
Okay. There it is. He's got the super. Oh, could have had it.
Yeah. Just if he had comboed him.
Daigo is... I mean, there are lots of situations here that are at N, at that space N that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And Infiltration just didn't challenge. He is so scared. All right, we got to see this again.
Yeah.
You'll see, I think, the fear through Akuma.
Right.
You know, Infiltration is just worried about trying to approach it now. He knows anything that he has will kill Ryu.
Right.
At this point. So he's in this mode where, look, I'm only one hit. Let's just minimize risk. All I need is one thing.
Right.
And Daigo really took advantage of that.
And I always say one of the bravest things in footsies is to walk forward.
Yeah.
For a very long period of time, and you're gonna see that right here.
Well, because I mean, the reason he can do that is because he smells. He knows that Akuma is worried.
Yeah, exactly. And then pow.
I mean, he recognized that Infiltration knew that he was just one hit away and didn't want to take big risks. That's just experience and recognizing how your opponent is feeling at the time. Yep. But a lot of that was not being... was being at N, but after having convinced Infiltration that he's not going to throw fireballs there. And